Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is 10:40 a.m. Friday, December the 1st, 2023, year of our Lord, and I hope each of you are having a wonderful day so far. Hope y'all had a good week. And I hope y'all got some stuff done before the rain, man, because it's raining right now. It's not raining hard, but it's raining. And I got one done today. I only had 5 on the list, you know. I'm just policing yards right now. But I got to a yard this morning and all their neighbors they live in a cul-de-sac, and I don't know if you know anything. I don't know if it's like this where y'all are, but the cul-de-sacs around here, man, for some reason, all the trash and leaves end up in the yards that are in the cul-de-sac. So got to this yard, man, there was a lot of leaves in the yard. A lot of leaves. They haven't had leaves on their trees in 2 or 3 weeks. I got them all up right before Thanksgiving. But all the neighbors, they just don't care, you know, and it gets blown around and winds up in my customer's yard. So it took me about an hour and a half to get everything up at their house this morning, and it was quite a bit of leaves. But anyway, that's all I was able to get done before the rain started coming down. It actually started raining on me while I was there as I was finishing up. But anyway, trash man's down the road, I think. Yeah, trash man's down the road picking up neighbor's trash, about to come get mine too. But anyway, I'm actually going to put out a part 2 and a part 3 to the story that I told y'all this past. I think the title was The End is Near. And speaking of that, man, that video, I didn't realize that as many people watched it as it did. I only had like 120, 130 subscribers on this channel. It's not many, you know. I've only been on YouTube for about 1.5 years, 2 years. But don't always get a lot of views, comments, and not a lot of people subscribe throughout the year. But I want to say it was like 20 or 30 people subscribed just because of that one video. And I was highly surprised that people were that interested in my issues. And there were a lot of comments on that video, and I'm gonna tell you, man, the comments were off the charts. I mean, y'all put out some good stuff in the comments, a lot of quotes that I could live by. Good stuff. And all your support, man, and all your encouraging words, I really appreciate every bit of it. I do. And you know, I'm going through a hard time right now with not with health or in my business or anything like that, you know, just what I was talking about in that video. You know, I'm just going through a rough spell right now. I really am. And I'm not stressed out about it or anything like that. I am at complete and utter peace. I really am. And I feel good about everything. Yes, I'm still probably going to lose my job, my full-time job. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. I mean, it's indefinite. There's no way around it. I'm going to get fired. And it's like one of them situations, kind of like with the war in Ukraine, or this stuff that popped off over in Gaza, you know, with Israel and everybody. And you know, we knew that with what happened on October 7th, that Israel was going to respond. And we were just sitting back waiting. We just didn't know when they were going to do it. Hell, even Israel didn't know when it was going to happen. There were things that they had to consider, and just a lot of things, you know, a lot of elements in place that had to be considered. And I think this is kind of the same feeling. My wife and I, we know this is going to happen, and we've talked about it so much that the kids actually got wind of it, and I hate that they did. But we try not to talk about things like this in front of our kids, man, but they got wind of it. And my 10-year-old son asked me yesterday when I got home from work, he said, "Dad, are you getting fired?" I said, I did what any dad would do. I'd say, "Son, no, I'm not getting fired. Not right now." I said, "But even if I do get fired, things are going to be okay. Because we have a plan." And we do. We have a plan. And this whole situation forced my wife and me to come up with a plan, a game plan for when this happens. We've got to be ahead of the game. And so for all you guys that are thinking about starting your own business, no matter what it is, whether you're a landscaper, you know, cleaning pools, pressure washing, plumbing, auto detailing, whatever, any kind of business, man. If you're planning on getting out there starting your own business and you're still having to work a 9-to-5 job until you build your clientele up, you need to come up with an exit strategy, because there's going to come a time. One of the guys in that last video commented this. There's going to come a time where you're going to have to choose, man. And your full-time job, they're going to get irritated with you putting all your effort and your energy into your so-called side hustle, is the way your full-time job is going to look at it. And it's inevitable, man. It's one of those things that's part of life. And you need to understand that. You need to have it in your mind that that is a very strong possibility that you might get fired because of it. But hey, that's okay. It's part of life, man. With no risk, there's no reward. But anyway, I'm gonna make this a part 2. And the reason being is because there's some new developments that happened this week at my full-time job. And part 3 is actually going to be a very long video. I want to explain the God element in all of this. And I'm going to be up front with that on the part 3. That way, if some of y'all don't want to hear about the God element, you don't have to. You know, just don't even watch it. Most of you know, all of you should know that I'm a very devout Christian. I love the Lord, and I put him first in everything I do. And but so there's that. If you don't want to watch part 3, you don't have to. And just giving you an upfront warning that it's going to be the God element explained in this whole situation. But anyway, the new developments this week, man. My supervisor, Monday night, about 8 o'clock, sent a group text out to all of us. Keep in mind, I still haven't spoke. Woo, y'all see that big old bald head, man? That thing's shining like a new dime. I need to put a razor on that thing and trim it on back, man. That hair's getting shaggy. But anyhow, I'm just out here cutting up, man, trying to make light of everything that's going on, you know. But anyway, Sunday night, our supervisor, I still haven't spoke to my supervisor face to face up to this point. Sunday, he sent a group text out to everybody letting us know, hey, the big wigs are coming down to Augusta. We're bringing hamburgers and hot dogs, and y'all bring your appetites. Well, for about a year now, they've been telling us that they're going to feed us steaks. We don't expect to get fed anything, you know. We make good money. We get benefits. We don't expect rewards. We don't. And I don't think anybody should expect the reward for doing their job. Nobody should expect that. The only reward that you deserve is your paycheck. And if you have benefits promised to you, then those too. But don't be out here expecting rewards. But I'm also a firm advocate that if you do for one, you need to do for everyone. Well, they fed our guys in Columbia steaks and potatoes, and they sent an email out to all the drivers letting them know that we have steaks and potatoes ready for y'all. Stop by the warehouse and grab your plate and sit down and eat, and just sit down and take a load off for a spell. Well, I'm pretty sure it was a mistake, but they sent that email out to every single driver in the company. And I'm gonna have to revise this video, man, because I don't want to put the name of our company out there yet. And I still don't want to throw them under the bus. I'm probably never gonna throw them under the bus. That's just me, man. I don't like doing that, but I might have to make sure I didn't name drop. But anyway, they sent that email out to every single driver in the company, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that stirred up a storm. That opened up a can of worms, because just about every driver in the Augusta yard started saying, hey, when we gonna get our steaks? And for the past year, they've been saying, man, we coming. But there was one instance, they came down to feed us, and we said, what about our steaks? Y'all gonna feed us steaks? And our supervisor said, I'm not pulling a grill down there just to grill steaks for y'all. It's like, all right, whatever. It'll happen sooner or later. You know, we let it go. Well, this guy talking about grilling hamburgers and hot dogs for us. And nobody picked up on it in the group text. Nobody said it in the group text. But I was thinking to myself, like, man, they pulling that grill down here to grill hamburgers and hot dogs while they're fussing about losing money, $25,000 a month in shrink, and $250,000 a year on pallets and totes and ice cream bags. But yet they're going to come down here and grill hamburgers and hot dogs for everybody. I wonder how much them hamburgers and hot dogs cost, or either they're feeding us out-of-date hamburgers and hot dogs. You know, I was just kidding about the out-of-date part, but it's the math ain't mathing, dog. But I was cool with it. You know, I was fine. I wasn't planning on eating because I had things to do. I mean, 14-hour day, man. You ain't wanting to hang out after you get done with a route and rub elbows with a bunch of management. You wanting to go home to your family, see your wife and kids, get a home-cooked meal, chill out and relax on the couch, get a clean shower, and watch some TV or drink a beer, whatever it is you do when you get off work, you know? I ain't trying to hang around with these folks. I told my wife, I said, I ain't staying. I said, I appreciate the gesture, but I want to go home, man. I'm tired when I get off work, and I just want to be at the house. I want to be left alone, you know? So I let it go. My routes, I drive anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours to my very first stop every single morning, depending on what day it is. And when you're driving that far, man, you can't do a whole lot while you're driving, except listen to the radio and think. And all my routes are out in the country, way out in the country. I'm like, man, this is like a slap in the face, you know. They told us they was bringing us steaks, but yet they feeding us hamburger and hot dogs where everybody else got steaks. Man, that's messed up. And I'm already upset with these folks, man, because of everything that's been building up the past few months, you know. But, like, man, that's messed up, man. That's like a slap in the face. So I decided right then, you know what? I ain't talking to none of these people when I get back. I ain't going to start no conversations. I ain't going to eat. I'm just going to do my post-trip inspection, do my paperwork, go into the house, see my wife and kids. Got back to the yard Tuesday afternoon. They had the grill out there. I saw my supervisor step out of the office when he heard me come in. He threw some hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. When I got done with everything, I walked past him. I said, "Them ain't for me, Artie." He said, "Yeah, how many you want, dog?" I said, "I don't want any, man. Give it to somebody else. I got stuff I got to do." And he looked at me. He said, "Dang, it's like that?" I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I got things going on. I ain't got time to hang out." And then he told me, he said, "Tank, you working Friday?" I said, "Nah, man, you know I can't. You know I got stuff going on, man. You know I can't work." And he just looked at me and kind of cocked his head sideways. And he said, "Man, you getting low, dog. You getting low on sick days." I said, "Look." I said, "Bro, look, man, you going to do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do." I said, "It is what it is." And he just kind of cocked his head and looked at me, cocked his head the other way. He said, "All right, man." And went back to cooking them hamburgers and hot dogs. And it was just a very awkward situation. Walked inside, had to go plug my scanner up, what we use to scan all the product. That's how we keep up with our inventory. Walked inside to go plug it in, let it charge all night. Our director of operations and our safety manager was in there. And they were all like, Tank, what's up, big Tank?" You know, I'm looking at them, basically just staring a hole right through both of them. And they're like, "Everything good, man? You all right? Being awful quiet, man. That's not like you. You normally talking." I just said, "Man, I ain't got nothing to say. But I got things to do, so I got to go." Same thing. They looked at me, just kind of cocked their head. Just had that look on themselves like, what the hell is going on? Walked out the door. I said, "Y'all take it easy." I went to the house. Never thought nothing. You know, I told my wife what I had done, and she's like, you know, it is what it is, man. There's no sense in sitting around trying to pretend like everything's hunky-dory, because, I mean, and it's not, you know, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. If I've got a problem with you, you're going to hear it from me. You're not going to hear it from other people around me. And also, you're going to be the first one to hear about it if I've got a problem. And I'm also that guy, I'm not going to stir up a whole can of worms in management and get everybody pissed off and ready to fight over something I said. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in sowing discord. And I'm also that guy that if you ask me a question, you better get ready, because the answer to that question may be one that you don't want to hear. If you ask my opinion, if you're the type of person that asks for opinions, you need to be extremely careful what you ask me, because you are going to get the dead truth from me every time. The best of my ability, I'm going to speak truth on everything. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm just going to give you the facts. And it might wind up hurting your feelings, but there's no green area or no gray area. That's the way I always have been. That's the way I always will be. I've lost a lot of people in my life because of that. Made a lot of people mad. I've been in a lot of fights because of that. And I've come close to losing jobs because of it, and it's gotten me into a lot of trouble with my jobs. But the one good thing about it is I can look in the mirror every single morning with a clear conscience that I ain't got nothing to hide. And that's the way I think every man should be. And a lot of you put some quotes, or put a few quotes on that last video in the comments. And I have a few quotes that I live by. One, and you know, I'm surrounded by military in my area, and there's a lot of military in my family as well. So I'm around military folks all the time. And I love our military, man. I really do. And one of the quotes, two of the quotes that that they have said, and I actually live by these quotes, actually three of them. One of them is irrelevant, but I'll say it anyway. But the main one is perception is reality. Meaning, if you feel like something's up, something's probably up. Go with your gut instinct. Two is, you can be the strongest man in the world, but if you ain't got no backbone, you're weak as hell. So don't be a jellyfish, be a man. The third one is, and this is actually an SF guy that told me this, and it's actually kind of funny, but it's true, and it's not really relevant, but I live by it. If a man's good enough for one bullet, he's good enough for two, but go ahead and give him three for good measure. And this was actually a retired Navy SEAL that told me that, and I think it's funny. And but hey, it's true, man. It's true. But anyhow, man, that's the way I live my life. You know, I try to live by those things, and I try to do right by everybody the best that I can. And if I do somebody wrong, it's not on purpose. And but if I do realize that I'm wrong, man, I'm gonna be the first one to come to you. You ain't even got to tell me. You know, I'm the guy. I'm like, hey, man, I did this. There's other ways I could have done this, man. I completely apologize. Look, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'm not that guy that's got too much pride to admit when I'm wrong. I will admit when I am wrong, and I will apologize as soon as I realize I've done somebody wrong. But anyway, there's that. I found out that by talking to a different supervisor that the way our sick time policy works, you get 5 sick days every year. January 1st, you renew your sick time, okay? You get 5. But here's the thing. You're allowed 5 call-outs over a 12-month period. Now, if you don't use your 5 sick days, whatever you have left over, you have a choice in December. You can either roll the rest of your sick time over, or you can take the payout for it the following week. Now, understand this. You're only allowed to get paid for 5 sick days if you decide to roll them over. You're only allowed to roll 5 sick days over. You're not allowed to have more than 10 sick days. But if you call out 5 times within a rolling 12-month period, that's the key. It's a rolling 12-month period. Call out 5 times, paperwork starts, and you will be terminated. What's the point in having 10 sick days built up? So, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is just take the payout for the sick days every single year and just start January with 5 new sick days. Well, here's what I mean by a rolling 12-month period. If you call out in September, you get 5 more sick days in January. You call out 5 times. You call out 4 times. Just say you call out September 23rd or September 2023, okay? If you call out 4 times in 2024, before September of 2024, you've called out 5 times within a year. That's what I mean by a rolling year. It is a year to the day that a sick day or that a call off falls off. So if you call out September 1st, 2023, it's going to be September 1st, 2024 before that call out rolls off. Now, I don't call out. I've called out once this year, and that's because I woke up, felt like I was about to die on a Wednesday morning, and I had to use a sick day, man. It is what it is. But that's the only time I've called out. Now, all you know, I do all my work on Mondays, or most of my work gets done on Fridays and Saturdays. So I'm off on Fridays from my full-time job. But there's been times where they tried to get me to work on Fridays, and I couldn't because I had things to do. They were using that as a call-off. I didn't know it. I had to use 2 sick days when I went up to Atlanta for that court deposition for that wreck I got in last year. I had to use 2 sick days so I could bring in somewhat of a paycheck. If I knew then what I know now, I would not have done that, because now it's showing that I don't have any sick time left. It's showing that as of that day, I had 3 sick days left. As of today, I have 2. Well, go figure. We've got 2 guys that are going to be on vacation this month. They're expecting me to work those Fridays. I can't, man. I can't. It's not that I don't want to. I don't mind working. I'll work anywhere, anybody, for anybody. I like money, and I like working. I've told y'all before, I've got to find something to do, man, because it don't take much for me to get bored. I will cause everybody around me to pull their hair out if I get bored. I'll drive everybody insane. And I don't require much sleep, you know. I constantly stay moving. I'm not a lazy person. Never have been. But we got 2 guys that are going to be on vacation this month. That's going to be 2 sick days that are gone. January, February, March. People are going on vacation. April, people are going on vacation. That's Masters Week here in Augusta. Dude, I'm about to run out of sick. I'm about to lose my job because of call-offs. Those are considered call-offs. Even if you don't physically call out, those are considered call-outs. So, but I lose my job, man. It's inevitable. But the next thing is, they're rolling out a new policy. I'm going to tie all this in at the end of this video, guys, so hang tight. I know I'm talking a lot, but just stay with me, okay? The new they're rolling out a new policy in January. And I heard this through a rumor. And this rumor was verified. I called a supervisor, not my direct supervisor, because I just don't trust him, don't feel like he's going to give me the honest truth. So I called another supervisor and verified it. He said every bit of it's true, bro. The way they're doing this is, you know, we have a cell phone policy at work. DOT law says we can use a hands-free device to talk on our phones, but we are not allowed to hold a phone in our hand. And that is very understandable. And I agree with that 100%. I don't think people in just cars and trucks or vans or anything like that should be riding around talking on the phone. I definitely disagree with truck drivers riding down the road, texting people or holding a cell phone up to their face while they're driving. That is extremely dangerous. You're talking about somebody that is potentially pulling an atom bomb or an 80,000-pound load behind them. Too many variables, too many factors that can come into play here. Well, the company policy is, I'm really gonna have to revise this video, man. I hope I have not name dropped at all. I'm gonna look before I put this out there. But the company policy is, man, we're not even allowed to have a Bluetooth or any hands-free device. We're not allowed to touch anything electronic in our trucks, okay? We have drive cams in our truck. We don't know when they're recording. We have no idea when they're recording. Our old cameras, they used to tell you when they were recording. There was a red light that would come on if something would happen to cause that camera to start recording. Well, these new cameras, they don't have a light. You don't know when they're recording. I have a very good feeling that they're recording 24/7. And these cameras also talk to you. They tell you to reduce your following distance or to reduce your speed. Different things. They tell you to turn your headlights on. They do all kinds of stuff, man. And if you ask me, I think it's very invasive. I do. I feel like Big Brother's sitting on the windshield watching me at all times. And I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan of AI. But the fact of the matter is we have AI in everything we do. So just got to adjust and adapt. But yeah, starting in January, the company policy is, it's always been the first time you get caught on the phone, you're fired. Whether you're using a Bluetooth or not, you're fired. No ifs, ands, buts about it. One and done, you're gone. Okay, we can live with that. Just don't talk on the phone, right? I've seen so many people get fired over this, man. Texting, driving, talking on the phone, driving. I've seen too many people get fired. And they're dead serious about that. They will fire you at the drop of a hat when it comes to that cell phone. But the new policy starting in January is, you have one chance. If you get caught without a Bluetooth or without a hands-free device, first time you're caught, you're fired. If you're caught without a hands-free device. Now, if you're using a hands-free device, first time you get caught, you're put on a final warning. Second time, you're fired. This policy also says that you're not allowed to, or I'm sorry, if that camera is set off and it shows that you are distracted due to eating, drinking, or smoking while you're driving, it is automatic termination. My thought process was, when I heard this through a salesperson, not a supervisor or another driver. I heard it to somebody that has no clue about driving a tractor trailer. And he told me this, and I said, my thought process, how do they know whether you're distracted or not? So I called a supervisor and asked him, I said, dude, is this true? And he said, yeah, and I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing. How do they know if you're distracted, right? He says, so basically, if something causes that camera to start recording and it sees that you're eating a sandwich, drinking a cup of coffee, or smoking a cigarette, you are fired automatically, because they cannot decipher what is and what isn't distracted driving. All they know is that camera went off and started recording. And here's the thing. You don't know when it's recording. So you're just screwed. You better not do any of it. Ever. You tell me one person that doesn't ride down the road drinking a bottle of water or a cup of coffee or eating a snack. We all do it. That's part of life, man. Especially drinking. You got to stay hydrated, man. 100-degree days, we go out on 14-hour routes. You'll have 20 stops, 800 cases on the truck. 3 hours in between stops sometimes. But you can't have nothing to drink. You better drink before you go. And if you get thirsty, pull over on the side of the road and drink it. We don't have time to stop and eat lunch, guys. We don't have time. We have to get done within 14 hours. A lot of driving on these routes, man. If we don't get done within 14 hours, we've got to sleep out there on the route that night. We don't have time to stop and eat lunch. We have to eat while we're driving. Now, we're not sitting here with plates in our hands, eating with a fork and a knife, driving with our knees. You know, I'm going to tell you something. If you're one of them people that drives with your knees, shame on you, because you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting other people at risk. If you do that, stop doing that. That is stupid. It's very dangerous. Yeah, if you don't like what I just said, don't watch my videos, because that is the truth. That is my thoughts. So, and I asked him, I said, dude, what are y'all going to do when people start having drive cam events and they're eating their lunch or drinking a cup of coffee going down the road, especially them guys that have to drive in the mountains, man. They got to do something to stay awake. They said, bro, I don't know. He said, I can tell you this, though. They expect to lose a lot of drivers. They expect it. And he said the salesperson told me that he was told they expect to lose 2% of the drivers right off the rip. I said, yeah, it's going to be more like 50 or 60% of the drivers right off the rip, because nobody is going to abide by that policy. Nobody. I'm not. You wouldn't either. But this is it, guys. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, this is what we're up against. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So yeah, the end is near. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I mean, hell, it may happen in January. And I'm telling you, I'm at the point right now. Something may come out of my mouth to get me ran off, because I'm telling you, I'm struggling these days to bite my tongue. I really am. I try not to open my mouth unless I'm asked, but I am struggling really hard these days to bite my tongue. And I always have had this. I have a very low tolerance level for stupidity. I really do. And I struggle with that, man. I do. I struggle with it. I beat myself up over it. And my wife's the same way. She can't deal with stupidity either. But it's the world we live in, guys. I mean, ever since 2020, everything is just stupid. And that's the bottom line. I mean, if that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. That's the truth. Everything's just stupid now. I mean, a lot of people are stupid for no reason. A lot of rules are stupid for no reason. Our government's stupid. Both sides of the aisles. It ain't just Republicans or Democrats. It's both sides of the aisle. They're all stupid now for no reason. All I can do is just take a deep breath and put it in God's hands, man. But, you know, out of all of that, I'm going to say this. I am at complete and utter peace. I have never been at peace like I am right now about any situation. I've always been highly stressed out about my job, trying to make sure everything gets done so I can get off early enough to take care of my landscaping customers. Not anymore. I don't care. And a lot of the reason why I don't care is because I have a plan. And that, you know, my wife, she 100% has bought into this. She has my back. And that's a huge factor right there, guys. For all you married men out here that are starting a business, you need to make sure your spouse is with you. And she doesn't need to be on the fence. She needs to buy into this 100%. Mine has. And I am so grateful for that. I really am, man. My wife, I told y'all before, she's a godsend. She's a freaking rock star, man. I love my wife. And if it wasn't for her, I would not be able to pull this off. I really wouldn't. And she is, in this situation, man, she's my rock. She's the only thing that keeps me sane. Her and God. If it wasn't for them, I'd be in some serious trouble right now. I'd probably be beating my head up against this glass window over here. But that, I have spent so much time praying since Sunday night or Saturday whenever I made that last video. I was stressed out, man. I really was. I was stressed out. I was on the verge of tears for a while. And I've prayed so much. And I'm at peace. I've never had clarity like I do right now about anything. And I can see this whole situation for what it is. I can finally see how corporate America works. I can finally see how people really are. And the way things are in general. And I have a clear mind now. And I'm just at peace, man. I've never been at peace like this. And but yeah, I'm good with whatever happens. And I don't fault my supervisor. He's just a man, you know. He's doing what he's got to do. I wish he would be a man with a backbone to stop jellyfishing, but it is what it is. I understand he's got a family he's got to watch out for. So I get it. 100% I get it. And this is on me, man. I'm wearing this on my shoulders. And my wife's got my back. And God has never left me nor forsaken me. So that's where I'm at, man. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. It's raining right now. And nothing's getting done tomorrow because it's going to be thundering and lightning tomorrow. So everything that I had left is getting moved to next weekend. And all my customers are good with it. I cleared that up with them last night, that if I didn't get to them today, it'd be next weekend. And man, look here. I hope y'all watch football tomorrow, man. I really do. Tomorrow's conference championship day. And whether you're an SEC, Big Ten, ACC, whatever, I hope your team wins. Unless you're playing Georgia. Then I hope your team loses miserably. If you're an Alabama fan, got no use for you right now. But so that's my plan tomorrow, man. We're probably going to have pizza, drink beer, sit on the couch, and watch football all day long. I know Georgia's playing at 3:30. And man, I cannot wait. This is going to be the best game of the year, in my opinion. And I'm excited about it. But anyway, I'm going to hop off here, man, and I will cut y'all back on probably a little bit later today with part 3 to explain the God element. But until then, man, like I always say, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Oh, yeah. Go Dogs. Bye.